It don't take a crystal ball to know how some stories end. When someone keeps saying opinions like facts, the courts start listening. Southern mutton don't predict nothing, we just watch and write it down. Don't need a crystal ball to see it coming back around. When you state it like a fact and never check it first. Southern mutton watch it close from the courthouse ground. True, stay patient while the paper getting worse. Same routine, new headline phone. Same bold claims that the record don't want. She speak real loud, no maybe, no seems. Turn opinions into facts like the courtroom clean. I ain't wishing nothing, I just seen the signs. When the words outrun proof, it's a matter of time. History repeat when you don't learn yet. Courts don't care what you meant, just what you said. When confidence louder than evidence be, that's when patterns start explaining things to me. Don't need a crystal ball to see it coming back around. When you speak like a verdict before the truth's found. Southern mutton in the case, boots firm on the tile. We don't chase drama, we just watch the file, yeah. Country rap calm, I don't glow to grin. I just read the docket when it rolled back in. She called it truth, called it just how it is. But courts draw lines where the talking ends. I ain't psychic, I'm observing. Facts don't bend cause a voice is urgent. From testimony tone to the written page. Same outcome when the pattern don't change. Lies like speed, truth like distance. One burns fast, one keeps existing on. Lies like speed, truth like distance. One burns fast, one keeps existing. Don't need a crystal ball, don't need belief. When the law still runs on proof and receipts. Southern mutton watching through the courtroom glass, pointing out lies as they're saying it's facts. Yeah. This ain't prophecy, this ain't hate, just history watching itself repeat. When words get reckless, the courts get busy, and the truth always shows up right on time.
Hey everyone, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? How's everybody doing? I'm gonna look at chat, see who all is in here. Hey Susie, hey Goose, I'm gonna try. I've gifted memberships, I can do 10, I'm gonna do them today. I still can't get over that. Like I got an email the other day that I stopped into Tragic's Live and I was in there for like a minute or so, and then I had something to do, so I hopped it out. Then I got I saw that I'd gotten an email saying that I was gifted a membership to her channel. And I was like, oh, so I went back in there to tell that person thank you who gifted it to me. Susie, Tennessee Nana, Ozzy boy, how are you? Did I see somebody said they left work, so they had a doc? You left work early, Ozzy boy. You made me feel very special. Thank you for that. You said you had a doctor's appointment. Hey, Hillbilly, Camping Mama. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Helen. How are you? You hear me? Good. Thank you. Yes. Hey, Short Order Cook. All right. Hey, Sunny D. You made it. Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. Hey, Christine. If I missed anybody, it's just because I can't read. And like my, hold on. Let me catch up here. I lag whenever I change screens. Okay, so I think we're good. If I didn't say hi, hello. Hey, SD. I hate peas. Good afternoon to you. Welcome. All right, everybody. You did your fully invested. We're going to start with number 100 today. Y'all, so, hey, Wheezy. Good afternoon. In some ways, I like this time better, and in some ways, I don't like this time because I get so caught up in all the things that I'm doing, and then I'm like, oh, shit, I got to go. And y'all, I don't log into my laptop ever unless I come live. I don't use it for anything. I don't ever check it to make sure everything's good. Last time we were live, it literally, I think it just started to update and just cut me out. And then whenever I tried to go on my phone, it wouldn't let me do anything there either. So you're coping with the heat over there? What is it over there, Helen? What is it? What's hot for y'all? I know it can get hot in the summer for y'all. I know it seems like it's been over the last decade, wherever y'all started to notice how hot it gets over there. Like this morning, it was 9 o'clock, and I went outside to do stuff, and it was so humid. I couldn't even do anything. I did what I needed to do, and then I looked, and it said that the feel like temp or whatever was 121, and this was at 9:30 in the freaking morning. It was before 10. So I did everything for the animals early. Yesterday, I was out there at that same time, sweeping, doing all kinds of stuff. I was sweating, but I was able to get all kinds of work done out there. It was really weird. You left work early also, Sherry? Enjoy. You're cowgirling it up. Have a good time, Sherry. Have a good time. Yeah, it's so hot. So hot. My husband just sent me a message. He's like, I just put my husband's really big on these auctions. And sometimes he gets really good stuff, and then sometimes he gets really good stuff that he just like brings back, decides he doesn't like it, so he fixes it, and then he sells it for about double what he got it from the auction. So he just sent me a message. He's like, I just bid on a boat. Wish me luck. I'm like, you just brought home the other day he comes home with 2 motorized kayaks. These big ass kayaks that have like full motors in them, like not like a trolling motor, but like full on motors. I was like, what are we doing here? We don't even live by a body of water. Oh, I mean, we do. We're in Texas, but it takes an hour to get to where we would need to go. We do have some rivers around us, but they're pretty gross. Yeah. So apparently I don't know. I wished him luck. I hope that's what he wants. If that makes him happy, I'm happy. He also came home with a moped the other day too. And I was like, what the hell? And he was like, well, whenever you don't feel like walking down to the mailbox, because it is a ways to walk down there. I'm like, geez. It's kind of funny, actually. I love it. It comes back with a big smile. I'm happy. It's only 87. So you have a relief then, because it was getting up to almost 100. Yeah, real temp of 100, real feel of 100 plus. Yeah, like it's. You know what? I'll be honest though. Up until today, it's been super hot. But it has not been for me that uncomfortable. We're up on a hill, so we get a lot of breeze. And if I stand on the like, there's a certain side of our property on our house that if I stand by, it's actually kind of nice. It's not bad. Today's the first time I really felt it. So for me to say that, it's kind of crazy because I work outside in the summers. Well, I always have. And so I would say that we've had way hotter summers the last few summers than this one, but I think we're about to get that. I think it's about to change, and it's going to be hot July and August. And then we go to Florida, I don't know, in a couple weeks. It's going to be hot there too, but it's different. Well, be safe driving. Yes, hopefully we'll keep you company, Sherry. All right. So I don't think there's too much to catch up on since we went live last time. I know that it cut out at the very end. I'm going to try to make sure that doesn't happen this time too. So if you guys can't hear me, just put a bunch of just write it in all caps, like sound or something like that. And then hopefully I'll see it. Because sometimes I get into playing these, I'm on a different screen and I can't always see. Oh, y'all, let me see if I can give some memberships here. All right. I'm going to send 5 memberships now. Everybody pray for Goose to get one. I ate peas, Kiwi, Seeking the Truth, Flower Phantom, Sally Godfrey, Ruby Rose. Also, if you don't want to be gifted a membership, you're welcome. I'm going to gift 5 more. If you don't want, like if you watch from the bushes and you don't want people to know that you're watching from the bushes or whatever, or if you just don't want your name to be seen, you can turn off the there's an option to be able to turn it off to where you cannot receive gifted stuff. So that way people won't see that you're watching. Like there'll be a lot of, you'll be in some chats where people do that purposely. They gift memberships to try to push people out of the bushes to see who's lurking. Right. I'm going to give 5 more. Hey, Michelle. Hey, sunshine and rain. You sent me happy poop. Why am I not seeing it? Thank you for that. Thank you so much for sending the jewels. Okay. Let me send, okay, I can send 5 more. All right, so I just sent 5 more. Hey, Joanne Cochran. I need to, Joanne Cochran and I should do a live one day together. I know she's in Australia, so we're on completely opposite time zones, but she might not even be in here because what I've noticed is a lot of times, like I'll get a gifted membership to somebody that I've commented and, I go into their chats and do stuff, but I might not be in their chat when someone's gifting memberships. For the life of me, Goose, I have no idea why you do not get a membership. You need to create a whole new YouTube channel just for the sake of that. Just for Southern Mutton. Okay. So you can like create a whole new channel. And then we're going to get you a membership. There's something with your channel that is not allowing you to get gifted memberships. Have you gotten them from anybody, Goose? Crystal G, thank you so much, my friend. Crystal just sent 10 more memberships. Let's see. Oh, yep. Let me see here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let me see who got those memberships.
Thank you for the love and the money. While we keep covering this dummy, it keeps this little channel growing, so we can keep this crazy going. From the bottom of our hearts, we love you so dang much.
So thank you so much. Anybody that is in here, if you would like to thank Crystal, I appreciate you so much, Crystal. Gotti girl. Gotti, are you listening? Or did you just get a message? I've never seen you in my chat before, Gotti. See, that's the thing, is that, hey, and Chewy. Again, I don't know. Some of these people might not even be in chat. That's what's so weird about the gifted memberships. You can't gift memberships or receive them, Susie. Well, I appreciate you for being a member. Thank you for being a paying member. I appreciate that. Again, it's what really helps this channel. It keeps it going. And like I said, everything that comes towards this channel will keep you guys in the know about the trial when that happens. And that's all I'll really say for now. Always listening or catching up the replays. Crystal, so you purchased, so you purchased memberships and you haven't been gifted one. You're not a member, but you gifted for others. It's very kind of you. Super kind of you. I thought you could only gift memberships if you were a member. So I appreciate that. I appreciate it all. And then Crystal there, and now you're a member. Thank you so much. All my Mutton's cousins, all my new Mutton's cousins, if you are listening and unable to chat, some people don't like to chat. I totally get it. There's times I just listen in the bushes and I don't say much. So I appreciate all of you because it helps this channel. If you would give this live a thumbs up, I would appreciate that. All right. So, all right. So let's get into it. Hey, Laura, how are you? No, you don't. Oh, we just started. I've just been running my yapper for 15 minutes and we gifted some memberships. Crystal gifted some memberships, which was very kind. And you can't see the chat because you can't find your glasses. Y'all, I finally got me reading glasses. At my ripe old age, I was not willing to do it. And then my best friend was over here and she had hers on. I said, let me just see those and see. And I put them on and went, oh my God, oh my gosh, these are the ones that I need. So I looked at what it was and I ordered me some from Amazon. And holy crap, I can see now. I can see now whenever I try to read stuff. It's kind of funny. Kind of funny. But I just was always like, I don't want to go get my eyes checked. I can see pretty decent close up, but then when I put the glasses on, I'm like, oh yeah, really, I really can't. I thought I could, but yeah, no, not as good as I thought. Not as good as I thought. All right. So, again, last time it cut out. I don't remember what number we were at. We were like at 104 or something like that. But we're just going to start off at 100 today. And see where it gets us. Now, this video that I have these on only go to 139. So if we make it to 139, great. If we don't, then we'll finish up another day. Then I have another one that starts at 140. And a lot of that, it's like 140 to 212, because as we know, there's 212 statements. A lot of those are audio. So it's a lot of having to get her, go back for her through my TikTok, her TikTok videos, her Instagram, and her YouTube. Now, the Instagram and the YouTube are easy to access, but the TikTok are the hard ones. And so I've been trying to catch up on all that and get all the audio on. And y'all, just listening to it, I just can't wait for y'all to kind of hear some of this stuff again. I was listening to one today. It's like number 160 something. 167, something like that. And it's a live she did on TikTok. She was talking about Gypsy Rose. It was like almost a 3-hour live stream. So I had to listen through all that shit, skip through it all. The last 8 minutes is when she started to talk about it, but she was talking about James. And it was just upsetting. It was gross. And, you know, I don't know. Does she just not know how terrible she sounds? Like, does she just, like, there's no way she can say this shit. I don't know. I mean, again, it's Katie Joy we're talking about. Hey, Frisco Chicken, how are you? I'm so excited you got to catch a live too. So, you know, y'all hit that thumbs up for me, please. Whenever, if you want to go out and hit it and come back in, that really helps. It really helps the channel. It's a free way to help this channel. And then commenting after the live helps. So all that good stuff. She is hero worshipped by her very own cult. Oh, y'all, let me show y'all something real quick. I was looking at backgrounds, like these AI backgrounds, you know, that you can do on StreamYards. And this one, it came up with this one, y'all. I thought it was so funny. Like our own little cult. Look, it's a bunch of sheep. Very cultish. Isn't that very culty? Very culty. That can be all of us, y'all. This can be, you know what? This could be all of Mutton's cousins. This can be us. This is our own little cult. Very Scottish. Hey, Suzanne. Yes, we're talking the lawsuit. We were going to start with number 100 today. It's kind of perfect, isn't it? I did not even say, hey, make this a cult situation. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, that's what it gave me. And I love like the English cottages in the back, right? Like with the, I just love it. But I was like, oh, I don't know. And then went, oh, actually, that's kind of funny. So, you know, she's got her own little cult. They're going to say we're a little cult over here. We're all Robert Shin's little cult. Don't forget, right? Because we support Miranda and James, therefore we're paid by Robert Shin, and we're all cult supporters. So hell, might as well have our own little background, right? Hey, Mrs. H, how are you? Right, Gracie? Okay, let me go back. All right, we're going to start with number 100. Again, last time I was cut off. I don't remember exactly where it was. Doesn't matter. Again, I've been putting out videos also. I've been putting out videos also. Let me make this smaller so I can see it. Again, I might get to where I can't tell if my sound goes out. So just type in the chat in all caps if that happens. Shin's sheep. Yes, Helen. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's funny. The Hobbity Mutton Cult. Hey, you know what? If you're gonna blame us, we'll own it, right? Let's just go ahead and own it. Everybody has mean faces on today. I had my mean face on earlier, probably. I don't know, because it's so hot. No, maybe not. I'm doing great. Thank you, Mrs. H. I'm glad you could join us. Okay. So I got cut off last time. Oh, so I am putting the videos out. I think I got up to number 79. I did 1 through 50 the first time, or maybe it was 1 through 49, and then 50 through 79. Those are up on my channel if you have not watched them that way. If you want to just watch them through without without me talking, without me getting sidetracked, without me talking to chat, you can go do that separately. You don't have to be an asshole. Not you people in here in my chat. You don't have to be an asshole and leave me a comment about how you don't want to listen through this shit. You know what? Then go do it yourself. Go do it yourself. Go pull up all the records, go pull up all the filings and look up the shit yourself. Okay. If you don't like the way I do it, I challenge you to go do it. That's all I'm going to say, because it's taken a lot of fucking time. Okay. But I also understand that there are people that support me, that appreciate me, that it is easier for them to go watch it. Is that a butterfly or a hummingbird? I got a butterfly trying to come in my window, y'all. It's easier for them to go back and watch it without me talking. That way you can pause it and read it and all that, right? So I'm doing it both ways. Going live to keep me sane so I can chat with you. Hey, girly reds. Going live so I can chat with all y'all because y'all keep me sane. And then I do those. So those up on my channel up to number 80. We're going to do what we can today. The reason why I only did it to 79, which is 79. The reason why I did it to 79 was because that was the last, number 79 was the last one that she did in April of 2022. Now, I believe the last one was April 2022. Keep in mind, she was sued April 5th and then amended complaint. She was served April 7th of 2022, where they added James and Miranda as plaintiffs. And she made a post on the 6th in between those days, I guess not knowing that there was going to be an amended one sent to her. And then she did another one accusing Robert Shin of deleting stuff. And I think that was like April 10th or something, a few days after she was served. But in between that, she wrote something and then deleted it, right? And then she's talking about how Robert Shin deletes everything. Hey, Bobby. We haven't really said too much. I haven't really started with anything. Oh, I know, Suzanne. I'm just saying, I just feel like I have to say it. Like, you don't need to come in my comments and tell me what I'm doing wrong. Just do it yourself. Or just bitch about it to somebody else, just not me. I just, but I know it sounds like I pay a lot of attention to it. I really don't. And if you're going to leave me a comment where you're going to call me all kinds of names, I will just delete it and I will block you. If you want to have an open conversation with me about why I feel the way I feel about Robert, or how you interpret that I feel about Robert, because a lot of people have interpretations when I've never said anything. I've never said one way or the other how I feel about Robert Shin. Okay. What I will say is that what he's been accused of the really heinous certain things, particularly the sex trafficking part, I will say, looking at the investigations and stuff that were done on him, and he hasn't been charged, okay? Things like that. People need to pay attention to what's really happening, but they only listen to one narrative. They listen to the narrative that Casey Joyce put out there, the narrative that the Netflix docuseries put out there, and it's starting to be proven wrong, y'all, but nobody wants to pay attention to that. People are too lazy. And I will scream as loud as I can that nobody has heard Miranda's side. And when she did try to say her side, Katie Joy insulted her, put her down, and then people went over there and she mocked her. And then people went over there and were leaving her threats and were being hateful. That's what ran them off of social media. Okay. People need to understand this shit. She did file a response, Christine. She did. We went over it in a live stream, a couple live streams. I just didn't do a video on it. It was nothing that interesting. The main thing she did was talk about how she is a very important journalist that has been cited by many important outlets, and she's even been on News Nation. And she's a serious investigative journalist that always tells the truth. Yeah, reading documents is better together, Gravy. Hey, Donna, how are you? So good to see you. So good to see you. You would love to see the depositions? I know, Suzanne. So they're sealed. And Katie was fighting to have them unsealed. That was one of her last motions. That was in part of her last motion when she was trying to change the attorney's eyes only stipulation. She also wanted to have the depositions made public, and the judge did not go for that. And I'm glad for that for Miranda and James, but we're all nosy. We all want to know what's happening. So, yeah. So if you're going to come in and you want to ask me questions about what you think I feel, ask me. I'll answer. I'll have a conversation with you. I do not mind having a conversation. But when you're going to come in and start telling me I need to be ashamed of myself, no, I don't. No, I don't. I'm just going to delete your ass because this channel's not that important to me. Okay. This channel's not my life. This channel does not rule me. I shut this laptop down and I'm done until something comes up and I need to work on a video. And then if I'm working on a video and I get frustrated, I'll turn it off. And I won't put it out whenever I'm ready. Where before I'd be like, oh, I really want to get this out. I want to get this out. Now my mental health comes first. I have a busy life. And so, if people are going to come on here and be like, I'll just block you. I just will. And I don't like blocking people, but there's no need to keep flooding this narrative that Katie Joy has out there, Netflix has out there. We need to start pushing the narrative, the true narrative. Start listening to what Miranda was trying to say. And I need to do a live stream on that one day about, the 2 times that Miranda tried to speak out and what Katie Joy's response was. I think we need to do that. I say that it'll probably be a while before I even get around to it, but I think that's important to do because people are like, oh, Miranda doesn't want to, like someone just left a comment just a little while ago that I saw saying that Robert Shin is a cult leader. Miranda is rude to her family. She doesn't want to be around her family. She's so mean to her family, her poor family, her poor family. It's Miranda's fault. She's in a cult. That's not verbatim. Maybe that's not exactly how they said it. That's how I interpreted it. And I'm like, you're wrong. If you do have to ditch, Suzanne, thank you so much for coming in. And when you do, have a great rest of your day. Okay, so number 100, we went over this again. Reminder, what's highlighted in these posts are the only things that 7M put in their they put in their amended complaint as being defamatory. Now, is the jury going to look at the whole post as a whole? Sure. But whenever during summary judgment, the judge gave 7M the opportunity to go back. She said, agreed with Katie and said, yeah, maybe they are a little too ambiguous. Maybe they do need to go back and summarize more what they feel is Defamatory. So the judge gave them the opportunity to file a new amended complaint. That's exactly what they did. They wasted no time. And instead of the original 87, there's now 212. And so they really broke it down to the statements out of each post and each live stream that Katie Joy did, the statements they feel are defamatory. Those are the ones that are highlighted. When you see the videos, whenever whatever's said, that's exactly what's in the amended complaint. You'll see a flash that separates those statements. Now, again, is the jury going to look at them as a whole, like look at this whole post? I'm sure. Are they going to look at the whole live stream? I'm sure. Because they need to see what the context is, right, in full. Yeah, I don't see why people can't see that her family was mean to Miranda. There's two sides to every story, and I cannot stand how just so many people, it's just nature to just listen to one side and not be neutral. I have learned that whenever I hear somebody so strongly voiced about somebody, I don't listen to that. I go listen to both sides, especially when it's on YouTube and like creators talking about other creators. I hear that a lot. I'll go watch the other creator. I'll go listen to the other one. And there's so many times where I found that the original person I was talking to was in the wrong. Yeah, the Wilkins might be horrible. We don't know that either. I have my opinions on it, but that's because of what I've seen. But we truly don't know. But Miranda has tried to say her side and nobody wants to listen to it. And I don't know how she got so silenced. I mean, I do, because Katie Joy really, really got the narrative going. And obviously Netflix did, and some other people. So, but statement number 100. Robert Shin is now forcing dancers to see their families. When they see their families, the dancers will take photos and sometimes videos to post on their social media to make the public happy. Now, Miranda and James, and I believe Robert Shin, all under sworn testimony, stated that this is false, that they were seeing their family on their own accord. Not only that, B-Dash sees his family all the time. He's very involved with his family. It's Slavic, very involved with his family. The others involved with their family. The only two that weren't were the ones that were part of the documentary, right? And Reno's family, I think afterwards they felt kind of bad. They realized that maybe they jumped the gun on something or whatnot. Then they stopped. They stopped talking about it. They didn't make any more appearances. I think they realized what it did. And Miranda's family keeps going. They just keep going. So Miranda was trying to see her family. In fact, it was documented. Miranda was posting it. And then Katie Joy's like, oh, she's lying. That's all fake. That's all fake. She doesn't really mean that. And Katie says, there is no family reunion. Miranda is still under Robert's control, lives in his housing, and is likely paying upwards of 70% of her income directly to Robert and the church. And this is May 27th, 2024. Miranda and James have stated, like I said, in sworn testimony, that that's not, like during the deposition, they stated it, I'm sure, and they've said it in affidavit. So, it's frustrating. Hey, and then she tags the LA DA's office. 3 women filed charges against Robert Shin. You have the file. Why haven't you charged him? So this is going to be big for 7M, showing all the times that Katie incited people to go report to different agencies. This particular post is the DA's office, saying, that 3 women have filed charges, and so she's inciting all this panic and fear, and crazy. Please be mindful that the last time this story went viral, a woman's crimes. Leaving negative comments on any Instagrams will and can contribute to them becoming a target of violence by Robert or his mentors. Please remember they are victims. Okay. And Also, and someone made a point to me recently, the person that apparently assaulted Priscilla is Robert's wife. I mean, what if it was because of their affair? What if it was because of something else? What if it had to do with something completely different and we don't know what that's all about, right? We don't know. Doesn't mean it's because she tried to leave the cult. She left twice and came back. And then I guess Hannah whooped her ass or something. If that's even true. If that's even true. Right? Right. I mean, it doesn't mean that he's going to be arrested, that he was responsible for these crimes. I mean, we don't even know yet. But oh, thank you so much, Bo Roundtree, for the sunshine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not seeing it come up. It's so weird. Appreciate you. I share the legal fight that I endured while helping to work on the series. The smear campaign and financial toll of battling Robert Shin nearly broke me mentally, bitch. But I refuse to settle with a bully. Okay. He's not going to, he's the one that's not going to settle. We need to remember that. There is back in the beginning, her attorney, whenever it was Graham Martin that was on it, there's correspondence between the attorneys that were submitted as evidence that show that he did ask to settle. Okay, so Katie Joy's lying when she says that she's never asked for settlement. It's in the filings. It's in there. Now she might have changed her mind after that, but she can't say that it never happened. I know, Helen, and that's what's so frustrating. She's so ignorant to the concept of a business. Any business, let alone 7M and the church. Following a dancer's counts only helps Robert, FYI. So she's saying, don't follow them. Basically, let's just bankrupt Miranda and James. Let's not let them have a livelihood. Even if they're only getting 30% of it, let's not let them even get that. Because we don't want to go behind the scenes and try to fight this shit. No, I want to make fucking money off of this. Katie Joy making money off of this. Okay? You could fight this shit behind the scenes. No, you're not. So don't sit here and act like, oh, we're here to help Miranda and James. No, what you did is hurt them. She was already broken, right? Mentally. Yeah, she said, she tries to claim all these things. So here's post 103 that was deleted. There are many families that have lost loved ones to Shekinah Church under Robert Shin's teachings. Good luck proving that. Where are your sources? She blocked you. Hey, Renelle, how are you? Good to see you. No, 7M has never asked to settle. No, 7M has never asked to settle. No, I'm sorry, Gravy. I don't know. I didn't mean if I sounded so rude when I said that to you. I didn't mean to sound rude to you, but they didn't. Robert Shin is in this, and he never. Be careful driving, Renelle. Christine says hi, Renelle. No, they didn't. Summer. I mean, yeah, Gravy. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound rude. Did that come across rude? That's how Katie Joy does it to her chat. No, you don't know what you're talking about. I didn't mean it like that. It's just that Robert Shin is just never going to settle. They wanted her to, they sent a cease and desist, right? Saying basically, you need to stop talking or we'll sue you. And she didn't respond to them. And then within their complaint, they're saying they want an injunction. But they never offered a settlement, because I just know that her attorney did. Donna and Jill say good to see you and safe driving, Renelle. Hey, Jill. No, it's okay. It's okay, Gravy. It's okay. I'm sorry. I apologize for because I was like, no. It's one of these things that he knew that there was going to be a documentary put out. He knew that there was going to be all of this going on, right? So he, when Katie Joy says, "Oh, he just wants to silence me," yeah, that he did, but he also wanted to silence you from telling lies, right, and spreading a narrative that truly doesn't exist. So they went into this knowing that it was going to be where it's at. Katie has said so many times, "Oh, they're not serious about this. They're not serious about it." And I don't know why she could even say that, because it's so far from the truth. You know what I mean? But anyway, she says so many families lost loved ones to Shekinah under Robert Shin's teaching. I mean, you have to prove that. Good luck proving that. Robert teaches that people must die to themselves. Suzanne, if you're still in here, can you explain die to themselves to all of us, like in layman's terms, like for those of us that may not really have a background in religion? Talk to me like I'm 5. But she says Robert teaches that people must die to themselves by cutting off everyone and everything from their lives from before they joined the church. I mean, from what I've been told, hey, Miranda, from what I've been told, there are different religions that use die to themselves, that say, that die to themselves. So I don't really know how she's misinterpreting it here. And obviously this is important for 7M to put it in here. Members are told they must limit contact with their families to help save them from hell. Shin brainwashes people to believe that if they remain in contact with their families, that they cannot achieve prosperity or salvation. There are also threats of damnation of the families. And she's going to have to prove that. How is she going to prove that? Like, who is she going to have as who is she going to have as witnesses? If members miss church meetings to see their families, they are punished by losing work opportunities and are not invited to church events. The more events that are missed, the more the members are isolated from the group and punished. And then she talks about Reno's parents, and that they're only doing it, that they want to help their son, but then also they're there to help the victims trapped inside the group. And then all the hashtags that are highlighted. Again, the judge said that this is considered as, a whole, the post as a whole. Hey, Skynet, no notification went out. Ugh. We just really kind of got started. You didn't miss too much, to be honest. You know how I run my yapper. It's already been 45 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how, this is the thing, like when she says certain things, she'll say it in a way that is just to incite panic and fear, right? So it's, and maybe you realize too, like, hey, this influence is not a good influence on me, even if it is your family. Maybe he did influence Miranda to feel like, okay, I don't want to be around my family, but maybe it was the right decision. Who knows? It's her decision. She's a damn ass adult. She's a whole grown adult. And Katie Joy is treating her like a fucking child. Okay. Oh, thank you, Laura. I work at a Bible ministry. To die to yourself, commonly interpreted as leaving a world of sin and entering a new life in Christ. So he's not sitting there saying you need to leave your family. I think you said that in my last chat too, Laura, so I appreciate you. Yeah, Katie just hates anyone who follows religions. Hey, Donna, thank you. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much. Hold on. Donna says, please say a prayer for my sister. If you are the praying type, please send up a prayer for Donna. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That was on 4th of July too, huh? Do they have anything to do with 4th of July? No, not at all, Laura says, as far as saying don't talk to your family, that's not what die to yourself means. See, and here's the thing is you get people like me who really has no knowledge. And I admit it, and I have my reasons why I feel, Donna, you're too kind. You were so kind. Donna just gifted 5 memberships. If you received a membership, please tell her thank you. I've got to get myself back on the time here, so hold on.
Thank you so much, my mutton friend. Just remember that I would not be here if it weren't for y'all. And for that, I love you so dang much.
I'm lagging. I'm not caught up on my, yeah, I think I am now. Thank you, Donna. Oh, Laura. Brandy, Lori, Jennifer Marie. So, thank you for clarifying that, Laura. Donna, thank you so much. And prayers up to Donna's sister. I hope, I don't know if you responded or not. I hope that everything's okay. Thank you, Gravy. We'll keep praying for you, Donna. We'll keep sending out positive thoughts and vibes for your sister. However it is, you guys send out positive thoughts, feelings, vibrations, whatever you want to call it, prayers, if you are if that's how we do it. So 104, Katie says, who gives an F? Nobody's going to remember you. So talk about Robert Shin. That's right. One day, no one will remember you, Robert Shin. No one's going to, there's going to be a day about you too, Katie Joy. There's a lot of people that come in my comments and say, I forgot about her. She's still around. A lot of people. So Katie Joy, people forgot about you too. All right. And the more people you piss off, that's just what your legacy is going to be. Right. $105. This whole post is what they're considering defamatory. This is a public service announcement to be kind to the dancers still trapped inside the cult. They are victims and they do not deserve hate. Okay. You're the one that has incited it all. I know she struck Charlotte again. Topia, I'm going to message you separately somewhere else about that, but it says that it's Katie Joy. And typically you can only strike you can't strike under somebody else's name, but there is a way to do it. And I don't know. I didn't think that Katie Joy is so caught up in her channel of not doing things wrong. And if you do false strikes on your channel, it goes against your channel. And Charlotte doesn't talk about Katie Joy. I'm over here running my damn mouth and showing her whole lawsuit. I have the right to do it. Everything that Charlotte has said is under fair use as well. I'm very careful about fair use, though. Yeah, she's a turd. Robert loves the algorithm, and he knows all comments increase engagement. The best way to impact Robert is by not watching the videos of the dancers. Unfollowing them is also an opinion. Of course, I cannot interfere in Robert's business. Fuck you, Katie Joy. You already did, right? At this point, it's May of 2024. She's already been sued. She's pissed off at Miranda. And so now she's wanting to take everything away from her because Miranda didn't agree with her and go on her side. Wish it was a poop emoji that didn't have a smile. Okay, there may be something else to. Yeah, okay, you're picking up what I'm putting down, Skynet. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay. Just making sure. I know you and I are on the same page about a lot of things. You blocked Katie 2 or 3 years ago. Hey, DJ. Yep, you blocked her 2 or 3 years ago, or you blocked her first? I did that too. I'm going to block her before she could block. But I don't leave. I don't go in people's chats and leave comments. I don't go in under people's videos and leave negative shit. That's just me. But the dancers don't control their social media. Their comments, DMs, and posts are controlled by their managers and mentors. Again, she didn't have a way to prove that. And later on, again, under sworn affidavits, said that, nope, that's not the case. They will delete and block you. Engaging with this group, in my opinion, is extremely dangerous. So remember that there are people still trapped, and it's Robert that is the bad guy, not the dancers. So right above it, she says, in my opinion. And then right below it, she says it is a fact. Like, these people are trapped and Robert is a bad guy. Following them is making Robert wealthy. The dancers are living on tiny allowances in housing via the church and monitored constantly. And they said in sworn affidavits that that's not true. So I'm just curious to see how Katie's going to defend this at trial. If these statements get through, if these aren't dismissed and Katie doesn't have a way to argue them and the judge passes them through and this goes to trial, how is she going to defend this? Who are her sources, right? Who's going to testify to this, right? Robert, of course, will deny everything, and he will deny the audio is even him. That's just Robert. You know how Katie always uses that term, aged like milk? Yeah. Everything we're seeing aged like milk. You're filling in for Luke. Daily reminder, KJ is a trash bag. Thank you, Skynet. It's good afternoon, kitten on the keys. It is 2:52 p.m. my time. When you realize she's a psycho. And then then down here, all of the hashtags they included in this: Dancing for the Devil, TikTok cult, Robert Shin, public service announcement, Miranda Derrick, free Miranda Derrick. $106. Isn't that a great look, y'all? This is where we stopped last time, I think.
The longer Miranda's in, the more likely she will be preyed on and become a victim of not only his cult, but of also the essay that he allegedly does.
Yeah, okay. All right. That's, is that going to come back and bite you? I was never going to allow a man engaged in this conduct accuse me of defamation when everything we have reported is a fact. Okay, so now you're sitting here saying that everything up to this point, whatever the date is on this, that everything you've reported up to this point is a fact. Okay, so that there right there, you're stating, yeah, I've said everything's a fact. That's going to bite you in the ass, but whatever. His own words debunked all of his claims in the lawsuit he filed against me. As a present to Robert to add, oh yeah, we went over this last time. As a present to Robert to add even more joy to this day, 4, Robert, Shirley, Hannah, James, and Miranda were served with deposition notices. Well, Shirley and Hannah said, no, you don't have the right to serve me. If you want me to be deposed, right, we're not doing it. And that became a big argument later on. And they didn't subpoena Hannah or Shirley. They didn't, and then later on, they're like, oh, no, we want them. We want to reopen discovery and we want to redo depositions, et cetera. And the judge is like, no. The judge actually said no to that. So, but basically she's saying, no, we served them with depositions. Thank you, Skynet, so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Skynet just gifted 1 membership. I see who received that. I don't know if they're in chat or not. Yeah, I do too. I think that too, Jill. I mean, she's acting like, come on now. Yeah, of course they're going to be deposed. It's a fucking lawsuit, you dipshit. And then she says, oh, yes, Robert and James and Miranda. Oh, yes, Robert added James and Miranda to the lawsuit. They likely have no clue that they are suing me because, well, Hannah and Shirley signed documents for them. That's not going to go over well. What do you mean they have no clue that they're suing you? And people believe this shit. That's why I get the dumbass statements and comments I get from some people, because they don't look at the facts. Like, do you not see that 2 and 2 is not 8, you dumb fucks? This group is so insidious that I hope that James and Miranda wake up before these people drag them into more lawsuits that they can't afford. I think they're affording it just fine. I think you're the one that can't afford this lawsuit anymore, Katie Joy. It's really biting you in the ass. It's very expensive. And I don't think Miranda and James are footing the bill on this. Just saying. 108. I'm shocked law enforcement hasn't gotten involved. Even the FBI ? But would they tell people if they were? And then again, Katie's contact the LADA's office. They have a file that is just sitting, waiting. Hold on, I gotta see what this is. I got it blocked right now. I think it's waiting for Robert's arrest. Hold on, I can't see the bottom. I'm sorry, Donna. Contact Ellie. Damn it. What is going on? Hold on. KJ has to prove those documents were forged. Yeah, exactly. All right. So it says they have a file that is just sitting waiting for them to charge Robert. And she's inciting everybody to contact. Hey, Cynthia, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome in. All of the things about who to contact and what to do, and that's going to go against her. And yeah, she has to prove. Oh, Laura, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Laura says, thanks for doing the Lord's work, JJ. Hey, you know what? It sounds so cheesemo, but I really do. Y'all, look, I've tried to walk away from this a few times, and I realize I'm the only one that talks about the lawsuit. I'm interested in it. I'm invested in it. I've read it all. I will continue to read it all. So I might as well talk about it to y'all. And I think it's important that some of this get put out there. People really need to understand.
Thank you so much, my mutton friend. Just remember that I would not be here if it weren't for y'all. And for that, I love you so dang much.
Thank you again, Laura. Yeah, it's just like when I was going back through some of the stuff today, because I'm still working on getting some of them for the 212 statements. Like I got up to 139, and then between that and 212, there's a lot of audio I still had to go back and get. And going back and getting the audio is what has been the pain in the ass, right? On some of it. I mean, it's really not that bad. Some of it's been, a little challenging, but listening to some things today, and we'll get to them eventually because it's like in the 160s. Sorry, my dog's shaking around. I had never heard this live stream before. I hadn't heard it. I was able to find it today, and I hadn't heard it. And I was shocked at the shit she was saying. It was about James. But again, here she's saying contact them, DA. So contact the DA. And, that's what's going to come back. Because again, 7M is telling this court, look, my client hasn't done any of this shit. He was raided, yeah, but because of the defendant. And then in LA, we talk about this a lot. We talked about this last time. Like in LA, his attorneys in LA are saying to the courts, look, you need to understand that everything that was in this, in these warrants, these search warrants and whatnot, what everything that they're stating, it is word for word, verbatim almost as to what this lawsuit is. Like when the cross complainants came in and sued Robert Shin for these things, right? There's the Netflix docuseries, all these things. And in Minnesota, Amber Savick, 7M's attorney, is saying, hey, my client has only been raided because they were incited, all these people called and, caused all this havoc. Like they had to investigate. I don't know. But they're saying that we all know that Katie Joy single-handedly is not behind this raid, right? But when you have a large platform like she has, can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? My thing's glitching, and I don't know if you can hear me or not. Yeah, you can. Okay, good. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying. So we'll just go to 108. Hey, Bobby. Did I say hi to you? We didn't even scratch the surface with the Shekinah 1.0. There are so many victims: alleged forced arranged marriages, immigration fraud, money laundering, illegal money laundering between Korea and the United States. Holy shit, Katie Joy. How do I not remember reading that line? Hey, Jill, thank you so much for being a member for 6 months. I'm so appreciative for your hard work on this. Thank you. I appreciate you for being a member for 6 months. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. She just said there are so many victims: alleged forced arranged marriages, immigration fraud, money laundering, illegal money laundering between Korea and the United States, 3 ex-wives. Oh yeah, that's a crime in its fucking self, isn't it? 4 kids. Oh yeah, that's a total crime. Dozens of girls groomed into coercive sexual relationships. I hope to God that's not true. Fraud of $4.2 million from a member. Okay, there was a lawsuit about that, and he won it. And the situation with that looks like a shitty one. It does. But we don't know all the details other than what was in a lawsuit, and that Robert Shin won that. Beatings. Okay, prove that. Sex trafficking. She's saying it as a fact. Okay. She's stating it as a fact, sex trafficking. So much alleged that we couldn't tell or didn't have time to tell. See, she got so bold. Hey, pro Charlotte Luke. Hey, everyone. I caught Southern. Yes, you did. Where's our daily? Unitopia had to put in a daily reminder, Luke, because you're slacking at your job, my friend. Just leaving work, listening on the ride to the gym. Get that workout in for me too, please. Thank you. All right. I got to put it. Thank you for your reminder. Daily reminder, KJ is a trash bag. Lots of exclamation marks. Glad you got to say hi there. Glad you came in. Yeah, Skynet says, or Unitopia says, sorry. Hey, look, somebody's got to do his job if he's going to slack. You don't need to apologize to him. He needs to be paying attention. He needs to have this shit on his phone alarm that when Southern Mutton goes live, he gets a 10-minute prior alert, like on as loud as it goes, so he can be in chat. So there's no. Hey, Bobby. I already said hi to you. Did I already ask you if I said hi to you twice, Bobby? Okay, I need to continue on here. Of course I am. Y'all, this is bad. This is bad. But the docuseries had clearly just come out, so she felt like she was vindicated, right? She's like, okay, everything is validated. Everything I said has been proven, so I can just say whatever the fuck I want. Like now I can just say whatever. Okay, I can sit here and say as a fact that he is he is involved in illegal money laundering between Korea and the United States. And look, I'm not saying maybe he's not. I mean, maybe that's what's taken so long with this whole situation, this investigation. But I think the money, the reason why there's a holdup on him being indicted has to do with the money. Okay. And if he was involved in sex trafficking and some other criminal activity like that, he'd be charged by now. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But California wants this money. They're going to do what they can to keep this money. Robert Shen's fighting hard too. He's probably going to spend as much trying to fight it. I don't know. But he's saying, look, there's no criminal activity. So if they put a civil suit for forfeiture against this money, then all it's saying is they believe there's criminal activity involved and they're keeping it. And that could be money laundering, illegal money laundering, but it doesn't make it a fact. Okay. If he's not charged with it, they're just saying we're keeping this money because we believe it's linked to criminal activity. So, but if he's indicted on charges of sex trafficking and stuff like that, that's a different story. But y'all, it's been a while. Now we have until now. Yesterday was the second extended deadline was yesterday, July 6th. And then I came on and did a live and let y'all know that there was another stipulated agreement for extension, and the new extended date is October 4th. And here she says, lock him up. So, she's inciting all of this fear and panic and saying, he's dangerous. Contact whoever you need to contact and get this fucker locked up. I mean, that's, right? How else do you put it? What if I told you there are dozens of more stories like this? So many victims. What if Amber Stabig asks you for proof about that while you're on the stand, Katie Joy? And so this is about, sorry, y'all, I got a message of some sort. I'm trying to see if it's anything I need to. Okay, so here she says, watch, do not follow the dancers. Unfollow, if anything. Do not leave comments on their pages. This shit pisses me off so incredibly bad. Because you're saying, again, do this shit behind the scenes. Don't take away, like if you're saying they only get to keep 25% of their income, well then let them keep 25%. Instead of making it 0, you dumb bitch. Like what you're doing to these, oh God. Anyways, she's promoting the Netflix docuseries because she was behind it. Remember all the bullshit? We're about to watch some of this bullshit. Whenever she does the live streams on Instagram where she's saying, oh my God, Netflix security is helping me right now. It was such a fucking joke. Let's not call this cancel culture. Yeah, okay, let's tell everybody, she's telling everybody, cancel them. And then she says, let's not call this cancel culture. This is criminal activity. Okay, she's stating that as a fact. And unfollowing would be beneficial because all of the money goes to Robert, not the dancers. People believe this bullshit. People believed this narrative. She's stating it as a fact. People took it as a fact. It has caused them to lose money. It caused them to lose status in the community. It caused them all kinds of harm, financially, personally, professionally, right? She's fucked, y'all. Pardon my language, but as we go through this and see it more and more, and they get worse. She just says, let's not call this cancel culture. This is criminal activity, and unfollowing would be beneficial because all of the money goes to Robert, not the dancers. Prove it, Katie Joy. Prove it. Prove it. The last big fuss that she had was saying that they're not providing their monetization records for social media. But 7M has stated, no, we did provide it. What else we don't know what you want. And the judge even said, saying that you don't understand is not an excuse. And I'm hoping that 7M is able to kind of correct that and be like, no, it is an excuse, because they're being so ambiguous and what they're asking for doesn't fucking exist. That's my take on it. I could be completely wrong. They could be holding something back regarding the monetization records. Why would they, though? Because their monetization records will prove what they've lost. Why would they be suing if they haven't lost anything? Why would they be suing if they can't prove that they lost monetization on their social media accounts? She calls herself an advocate, but says it's not her responsibility to help anyone. She's the worst advocate. She's not an advocate. This is a perfect example of tortious interference, right? He controls their diets, and many of them have lost so much weight. Nope, and nope. And when she tried to do the side by side, and we're going to see that because that's in evidence as well, I believe, Miranda didn't look any different. And she's like, look how skinny she is. And I'm looking at it going, there's no difference. And people are like, oh my God, that's terrible. Like, oh my word. He doesn't like people that have any fat on their bodies and they have to eat. Have you seen some of these other dancers? I'm just asking a question. I'm not fat shaming them. Katie Joy is. I mean, Katie Joy is saying they're all skeletons. They're not skeletons. Have you seen some of these dancers? They're healthy. Okay? Healthy. Miranda's just a thin, slim, athletic type. Okay? These dancers are healthy. And what she's trying to say here is he wants Miranda skinny. It's all about Miranda, okay? This is all the narrative about Miranda, because who else are you talking about here? You know, what's her fuck? The one, Kylie? Is that her name? The one that was in the docuseries? He didn't starve her. Okay? Clearly. I'm not calling her fat by any means. She's athletic. She's healthy. She's a dancer. She's not starving. She wasn't starved. God, I hate this woman. They have, he doesn't like people have any fat on their bodies, and they have to eat whatever they are given. And this was also stated in sworn affidavit that this is not true. They can only buy groceries that are on sale. They eat scraps while Robert dines out and eats like a king. Oh my word. Prove it. Prove it. Where do they eat scraps? Where do they eat scraps? How are you going to prove that they ate scraps? Because these dancers that have left and have done interviews on other podcasts, that's not what they said. Not at all. Yeah, doesn't she understand how dancers' bodies look? And everybody's different. Everybody's built differently. How are you going to prove this? Where's the picture of them eating scraps? And what is, like, there's pictures of them as a group out eating large, like at a brunch type situation where they're all eating. And Reno is sitting there, okay, where she's trying to act like he's starved. I mean, she was talking so much stuff about how Reno was thin and all that. His parents stepped in and said, don't talk, keep this about Robert Shin. So she retracted that. So they asked her not to talk about their son. I wish the Wilkins would have done the same fucking thing for their daughter, but no, they didn't. There's pictures of them sitting at this table and they all have all this food in front of them. It's not like they have scraps of whatever the fuck. And then Robert's down there eating like a king. No, they're all eating like kings and queens. Okay. James and Miranda, I think, were in that picture too, but I know Reno was. And she was talking about how Reno was being, and basically she made it sound like Reno was in the basement, handcuffed, like chained to a wall, being starved and beaten. One of the most touching parts of the series was hearing from Aubrey Fisher after he learned what Robert had done to Priscilla. His heart for her pain and his desire to stop Robert was palpable. Now, listen, I don't have a problem with that. If he has genuine sincerity and pain for a woman whose story was about Robert, that's his right. And again, this should have been about their story. Their story was told. I'm not gonna say shit about Priscilla's story or Melanie's story, because I don't know. That's their story to tell. My problem is, why doesn't Miranda have an opportunity to tell her story? It's everybody else's story. So, yeah, I mean, if Aubrey wants to, he has that right to feel that way. Absolutely. That's their story. They told their story. Miranda hasn't told her story. I want Robert held accountable and criminally charged. See, this is what's going to go against her, y'all. All of these, and there's many more to come. I mean, this is why Katie's panicking, y'all. She's screwed. I want Robert held accountable and criminally charged. Okay, knowing that internet, do your thing, right? She knows what this is. But I do not speak for Netflix, only myself. Yeah, because Netflix told you to shut the fuck up because you're acting like a crazy loon. You acted like you were the one that you were the producer of this. Crazy bitch. I know, Jill. And, as a nutritionist, I think I've told y'all before, I'm underground's a nutrition. I didn't work as a nutritionist long. Okay. I didn't work in a hospital. It was not an RD, but I did work with athletes. And I had a young ballerina come to me, and that was so awful because it was clear that it was, she needed therapy. She needed more than a nutritionist because she had a very, unhealthy relationship with food, anorexia. And her mom was in there with me. She was young. She was probably 16, 17, maybe 16. And her mom was in there with us. And I just said, this is what, I would recommend or whatever. And then I called my mom, who's a mental health professional. And I was like, what do I do in this situation? But, yeah, it was tough. And ballerinas and gymnasts, they're especially gymnasts, you see them as they grow. Like, look at, what's her name? Mary Lou Retton. When you see her later on, like, they're stunted in a lot of ways because they're putting their bodies through so much and they're being restricted by so much. And they start so young. So there's a lot of athletes that go through that. And, now she's sitting here talking about, eating disorders in a way, right? Why did they make a movie at Netflix about these people? I don't understand. Because they pitched a story, and they had people that were involved with Robert Shin that were telling their story, and then they had Miranda's family that spoke for Miranda without telling Miranda's story or her side. They just said, as her parents, she's in this cult. And Netflix, Netflix is just the platform, so to speak, right? So other production companies pitch their ideas to Netflix and they'll accept it or not. And then, so even the Netflix movies and stuff like that, I think are still pitched out. They're just a platform to show it. But there's a lot of things. I mean, there's times I just want to boycott Netflix. In fact, I stopped paying them for a while. I just don't agree with a lot of this stuff. See, right? Short order cook. No wonder these new amendments were allowed in. And figure skaters, yes, Gravy, yes. Being in Texas, we did have like an inside ice skating rink where there's some ice skaters, but in Texas, it's obviously not that common of a sport. When I was a nanny, I took the little one there. She was in ice skating lessons, and she had these really fancy little outfits that her mom bought. It was so cute to see her out there. She was 4. There was a popular article in Rolling Stone. Laura, what was it about? Did I jump in the middle of the... Yeah, and KJ was part of the story pitch to Netflix. Yeah. And this is the thing. Like, when she was being sued, she's like, oh, Like before all this came out, she's like, "Oh, I had no, like I wasn't the first one to talk about Netflix. I wasn't. I mean, about 7M, Robert Shin. I was the first one to talk about this, right?" But then when this comes out, she's like, "Yeah, I was the one that broke the story about Robert Shin. Hell yeah, I was the one that broke this. I broke the story, and then that's why I'm part of Netflix docuseries." It was hard for me too, Virginia, to be like, "Why would you why would you put this out? It's clearly one-sided." There was a popular article. Oh, yeah, there was one about 7M. I had a hard time reading those. All of those are included in Katie Joy's evidence as exhibits. Like the Rolling Stone one, I know that she included all the articles that they. But here's the thing: it was about the rumors of being a cult. Yeah, they didn't state things as fact. They stated what they heard, right? Like, it's being said that it's a cult. The cult, they kind of left it as a, but not only that, when you look at the dates, Katie is like, "Look, I was cited in all of this. I'm not the only one that was talking about it." But if you look at the dates of when the articles came out, they came out after Katie Joy started talking about it and started doing her drunk live streams. I would love to know what went on with her and Netflix. I would too, because I think they eventually, I think they might have, I think it's possible. Don't quote me, and I could just be running my mouth talking bullshit. I think it's possible that she was silenced by Netflix and was really reeled in on how limited of shit she could talk about, because it's very limited when she talks about it. If Katie is found liable for defamation, the docuseries may catch some heat. I don't know. I don't know. That's so far in the past. People don't even pay attention to that shit. That shit is past news. And what I hate is that a trial might actually bring attention to it again. Yeah, Rolling Stone quoted KJ. Come on, SD, catch up. She is a very important investigative journalist, and she is quoted by really, really. That's what her answer to this amended complaint was, right, SD? I mean, we got to remember this. We got to get our heads out of our asses and quit acting like fools. Katie Joy is an investigative journalist, y'all. An award-winning, according to her. She didn't say award-winning. I just pulled that out of my ass. But still, nonetheless. Wouldn't it have been pitched to Wilmer's production company because it was not a Netflix original series? Wilmer is the production company that pitched it to Netflix. He obviously knew some of these people, or some of these people reached out to Wilmer. And even with the Netflix original series, from my understanding, they're still pitched to that. Like they probably have certain ideas, like for Netflix original series, and people like they might have a topic, and then a production company comes in with their pitch for that. But yeah, it wasn't a Netflix original. Thank God. I'd be really pissed off at Netflix. Right. Katie wrote so much of the stuff that the articles referenced, and a jury's going to be able to see that. They're going to see who said it first. And then when the articles came out, they'll read it and they'll be able to see what the narrative is. So here she is, number 109, talking about Netflix series. Says, for the first time, the world is getting a look inside the dark world of Robert Shin and his church, that she put in quotations, and management company, that she put in quotes, that has trapped professional dancers into a psychological/spiritual prison. It sounds like ChatGPT, doesn't it? Because it's about the time she started using it, probably. Many people have expressed outrage that despite multiple women filing reports with, and she tagged LASD headquarters, so LA Sheriff's Department headquarters, and she tagged the LADA's office. Okay. So she says, despite multiple women filing reports with the sheriff's office and the DA's office, they have not charged Robert Shin. The sheriff's office told the women that if at least 3 women came forward, they would arrest Robert Shin. No, I don't believe that for a second, unless some, young rookie cop made some stupid statement like, well, maybe if we have 3 things, they'll arrest him. You can't say, oh, if he has 3. What if they're not fucking real? You can't just put 3 statements in, 3 reports. I've read one of them, and trust me, in my opinion, not to be an asshole, not to shame a victim, but in my opinion, it was not arrest worthy. Okay. She says the Los Angeles District Attorney has everything they need to charge Robert Shin. While Robert remains free, oh Lord of mercy, did I do that really? Hang on, let me catch up. While Robert remains free, other women in his group remain at risk. At what point will law enforcement do something? Shekinah Church is tax exempt, but also using for-profit entities to seemingly launder money and donations. The IRS began an investigation into Robert Shin in 2022, according to a report by the U.S. Sun. And that is true. Reports have been made to the FBI. Nothing has been done. How do you know that, Katie? Why? Because you were one of them? At what point is this man stopped? So this is 7M showing the court, ultimately showing a jury, that Katie Joy is inciting people to contact all these agencies. Please share and continue to help spread awareness about this series. Together, we can hopefully ring the bell loud enough for the authorities to finally step in. And then all these hashtags were considered, and including Free Miranda Derrick, Los Angeles County Sheriff, and FBI. Number 110, their mentors control their finances, diets, clothing, housing allowances, and relationships. If Robert wants to break up a relationship, they will break up. If Robert wants to marry a couple, he will marry them. How are you going to prove that? Anyways, Robert has been known to even dictate when couples can be intimate and if they can be intimate at all. Y'all, this one really bothers me for obvious reasons. But as religious and into their faith that Miranda and James are, if they have to answer to this on the stand, this is going to be humiliating for Miranda. And I will bet you, because Katie Joy is such a piece of shit, that she will have her piece of shit attorneys ask this question. Mark my words. Mark my words. Because we're going to know what happens at the trial if it goes to trial. Okay? She's such a piece of shit. Not yelling at me. It was called a Netflix true crime documentary, right? You're not yelling at me. I know you weren't yelling at me. Short order cook. But Katie's such a piece of shit, and she hates Miranda so much that she wants to embarrass her. And I bet you they will ask Miranda this when she's on the stand and make her answer about her sex life. And it's fucking atrocious. She'll do it. Watch. Mark my words, y'all. And if she wasn't going to, hopefully she doesn't. He has a final say, and they are all doing whatever they can to please him. They believe that Robert speaks directly to God. A lot of people believe that their pastor speaks directly to God. Okay. This isn't the only church, right? So please be kind. They are basically Robert's robots. Please be kind, she says. Yeah, right. So please be kind after you've sat there and treated them like shit this entire time. They're basically Robert's robots and have no clue they're in a cult and won't listen to anything critical out of fear of being punished by Robert. See, this is the gaslighting right here. This is how you gaslight your followers to say, okay, look, just trust me on this. They're going to tell you they're not in a cult. They're not going to acknowledge it. They're going to lie. They're going to be hateful. They're going to be mean. Okay. So whenever Miranda is crying and saying she's in fear for her life, she's lying. She's full of shit. Okay. So don't believe it. All right. I know what I'm talking about. I am an expert in cults, and people fucking believe this, right? They actually believe that she's a cult expert. These people are believing her because they think that she actually has knowledge about cults. And so she's gaslighting her whole audience by saying, look, they're robots. They don't know what they're doing. They have no idea. Punishment includes being isolated from other members, isolated from spouses, left out of activities. loss of job opportunities, being rebuked and alienated from the community, and losing any and all privileges. When people leave, several have faced physical attacks or being followed. It's very difficult to leave. So then why, when Miranda was being was saying that she's being stalked and she's being threatened, and she was very, you could tell, you could see the fear on this woman's face, her, when she was trying to say these things, and Katie Joy is mocking her. Why is it not okay to feel bad for her then, when she feels like she's being threatened? And then Katie turns around and goes, no, it's the people within that are threatening her and following her. Yeah, she hates everybody that's more talented than, she hates every woman. Especially, I mean, anyone that's more successful than her. She just hates women. I think. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. That's just my opinion. Yeah, trust me, bro. It's very difficult to leave. They have strict bedtimes and have to be up. See, this pisses me off too, because these dancers that left, they've stated out loud publicly that they left. They just walked away. They chose to leave. They left. There was no fighting. They weren't beaten down. Basically, they were told, we hate to see you go. But they left. People that have left come out and said, that's what I'm wondering about. Yeah, I mean, they've come out and said, they've never said, we were locked in rooms, we were chained, we were abused, we couldn't leave. We literally had to escape in the middle of the night by crawling out of a window. No, they fucking walked out. And they're Louis Vuitton shoes that apparently they say they weren't allowed to keep. I mean, it's just bullshit. This, by Katie Joy saying this. Now, I'm not saying what they were in there, that they didn't endure things they didn't like. Okay, I'm not speaking for somebody else like that, because they've come out, but what they've come out with is not this. That's my point. When people leave, several have faced physical attacks or being followed. When has anybody said it? Anybody that has followed the dancers past the point of when they left 7M, the dancers that have left, please direct me to where they've said this. They have strict bedtimes and have to be up at 5 a.m. every day. Guess what? I'm up at 5 a.m. every single day myself. Just because you're a lazy sack of shit, Katie Joy Paulson, doesn't mean that the people that are up at 5 a.m. and are regimented, that I'm, what, am I in a cult? Because I get up when my husband gets up to make sure that he has everything he needs to go, and then I take care of the animals. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm up at 5:15. I'm a lazy sack of shit. I'm not up at 5. I lied, y'all. I'm a liar. I'm up at 5:15. They can't have children because Robert believes kids interfere with members' income potential. There's been people that were in the church that came out and said that they were there and took care of children during the day. In that same house, I believe, that was raided, or compound or building, whatever you want to call it. Somebody said they took care of children in that building. Shirley, okay, who is Robert's attorney, she just had a baby. Her baby's a couple years old or something. And it's not public information for people to know how old her child is or what her situation is. The mutton cult. Yeah, it's easy to leave. It's very easy to leave. They all said they left. They just walked out. Miranda and James could have already left, and we don't know. They were forced to leave 7M. They've said they're not a member of Shekinah. They've said under oath recently, very recently, they said in their sworn depositions that they're not a member of the church. Now, they might be involved in some of the church's activities, but they're saying they're not members. And dancers have left. Yes, they've just walked out. Yeah, but she makes him out to be, well, I mean, and we're getting into the worst of the, like, these statements really are not even that bad compared to what we're about to see as we keep going through these. Yeah, a lot of performers wait to have kids so they can work and earn money. She's saying it's Robert Shin's decision, even though there are kids there. And she's not just talking about the dancers when she says this. Robert believes kids interfere with members' income potential. Robert views them as money and a vehicle for money. That's it, and that's all. Okay, prove it. You've watched the doc, and that's where you got your info from. You know what? I appreciate you. I want to say this. Let me come. I want to highlight this. Okay, I appreciate you, NYL, because even if you disagree with what I'm saying, okay, you're still here listening. Hold on. I gotta get myself caught up here. You're still here listening. You're here with an open mind. You're willing to say, I got my information from the docuseries. And maybe if more people could understand why we're so pissed off over here, because Miranda never got to tell her story. If you go back, if you have any interest, you can go back on my channel and there's some videos about Miranda Derrick and how Katie Joy has put Miranda Derrick in danger. I would love for you to go back and at least watch that of what Katie Joy Paulson has done to put Miranda Derrick in danger. All I use is her words. Yeah, no, and I appreciate that because I get so many people in my comments cussing me out, and it's very clear they've never even thought that there's another side. They've never even thought about Miranda and James Derrick. They never saw how the docuseries is one-sided. Now, listen, when it comes to Priscilla and Melanie telling their story and all that, I'm not going to argue that. That's their story to tell. And that docuseries should have only been about that. But they used Miranda as the poster child. She sells. Her image sells. She's young. She's white, blonde hair, blue-eyed. I hate to say it. Her image sells. And it's unfortunate and it's sick and it's gross. They use her. Even when Katie Joy was making posts about just Robert Shin, she would always use Miranda's image because that got people to click. That got people to go there. When she was doing videos, sometimes she would put Miranda's image on there. I tried to stop using Miranda's image because I didn't like doing that. I didn't want to do the same thing. Miranda's family. It was all about Miranda's family and her sister, and they're crying. What about Miranda? If you watch my stuff, you'll see the stuff that Miranda tried to put out. You'll see the fear in her eyes. You'll see the pain in her eyes. And Katie Joy mocks her and says, oh, that's, that pain in her eyes is because Robert's controlling her. No, it's because everybody's trying to take away her free will as a human being. And so I appreciate you being open to it because you don't have to agree with what I say. I don't expect people to. I expect everybody to have their own opinions, their own thoughts, but I also encourage people to really look at all the documents. You're going to see a lot of stuff in here, and you're going to see, especially if you watch the docuseries, you'll see how a lot of this ties into the docuseries. It's a narrative. It's a narrative. And yes, those, and I wish I could direct you to the podcast where you could hear that. Maybe somebody can leave it in my comments if they're hearing this, and then maybe they could direct you to where some of these dancers came out and talked about it. And I say this with certainty, and you can ask anybody in here. I do not say anything unless I can prove it. Everything in my videos is based on Katie Joy's own words. And I won't say something unless I know it's true. Is it true? B-Dash, I guess you're assuming B-Dash has an ex-wife and a child. Yes. Yes. Now, is the narrative that he abandoned his son true? From my understanding, no. No. He loves his son. And he has stated that. And that's none of my business to really kind of get into. That's just what I've been told. Katie Joy talked a lot about it, and you'll see that in here. We talked, she brought it up in the beginning, but she also brings it up again because I was, like I said, we're at number 100 and whatever. Like in the 160s, she does this drunken live stream on TikTok where she starts to talk about B-Dash, and she's talking about him again because Katie Joy reached out to his ex-wife, and it became that narrative. Most religious leaders in churches say they have a close relationship with God or a God in any religion. My shifts at work as an MD can be 24 hours between the OR and ER. Is Netflix getting sued or any of the family members? No. I mean, it'd be very hard to sue Netflix in this situation. I'm hoping what happens is when all this is said and done, everything's settled with all the investigations and stuff like that, and the trials are done. There's another lawsuit in California where some of the ex-dancers, Robert Shin is suing. I don't know if you know this, the Priscilla and Melanie that are in the docuseries. They sent Robert Shin a demand letter for $30 million. And Robert Shin turned around and sued them and said, no, I'm suing you for defamation. This was before the docuseries came out. And then there's 2 other bloggers that are on that same lawsuit with them. They are also involved in the docuseries. They're on Instagram just like Katie Joy. So he sued them along with his sisters in LA. Then some dancers came along and did a cross complaint, and they filed against him and sued him. But my guess is, I think that's dying in the water because they can't prove anything. And all the things they said he did, there's an investigation going on. Nothing's happening. And it's looking like everything they've said isn't true. So if Robert's ever able to come out on the other side and do something to tell his own story and tell Miranda and James's story, that's what I hope happens. But as far as like suing the family and stuff, I don't think any of that will happen. I don't know, but there's no lawsuits towards Netflix now. People say he was involved in another cult with the ex. He was involved in another church that people considered cultish, maybe. Okay, just put a lot out there. A lot. You'll see it if you stick with this. And listen, not only my live streams, I'm putting out videos where you can watch all 212 statements. Okay. I explain it in the beginning of it, and then I just play it through. Same thing that I'm playing on here, but I'm doing it to where you can go back and really like watch it on your own if you want to, if you don't want to listen to my commentary or listen to me stopping and talking like I'm doing right now. I'm putting them out and you will see it. And they get bad. And the reason why they get bad is because Katie Joy thought, oh, this docuseries came out. I'm vindicated. That didn't happen. Okay. Then this raid happens on Robert Shin. And she's like, look, I'm really vindicated now. So each time something like that happened, she went hardcore and went harder with it. The statements get worse as we go on. Amber Stavik has once said that the only reason why they're going after KJ is because they've never seen anyone act like her in the drunken lives. It's unreal. I remember Amber said that once. You see, because Skynet, you're probably one of very few that actually read all of the documents and read them as they come out and have such a knowledge of the background of it, that you understand what's being said. And that's why I'm trying to catch people up too, because I want people, if you just walk in right now, if it's your first time in my life, I'm hoping I can welcome you and lead you to where you can go and watch some of the stuff or read about it or whatever. Oh, you're welcome, NYL. Again, I appreciate you getting involved in the conversation and understanding that there could be 2 sides of the story. It doesn't mean you have to be on our side over here. But to be open-minded to understand that Miranda Derrick is in fact a victim. But who is she a victim of? In my opinion, and the chat here with us. Hey, Sarah, how are you? Crazy day. I hope everything's all right. Yep, I'm still going. I'm probably going to end it soon. And then there's always the replay. That is strange, second cultist, in my opinion. I think, what made me understand that a little bit more was talking to somebody that's really, really knowledgeable with religions, churches, movements, all these things, that it's really not that unusual. It's not that unusual, actually. And it's an interpretation. Robert Shin admits, he's even said, yes, okay, fine, we're a cult. Church is a cult. religion is a cult. Fine. He doesn't deny, but he said it's all about your definition of a cult. What's your definition of cult? And that's why with this lawsuit, calling them a cult isn't really anything that they could sue her for. Because that's freedom of speech. You're allowed to say it. What's your definition of it, right? You skim through them. No, but that's fine. But you still, now, obviously you do know. You obviously know. If you saw somewhere, I mean, unless I said it and you only heard it from me, but I don't remember Amber really kind of, I mean, I remember Amber saying that how she acts in her lives is just crazy wrong, right? Yeah, I wish more people would start covering her again. You've been a little afraid to ask. No, I appreciate it. And listen, look, I have a wonderful chat. I do. We don't have as many in here as we used to get. Hopefully we'll kind of get that back up. I get most of mine in the replay. So comment section is usually really nice too. But there's a lot of people that were following this way before I came in. There are people that have been following it since me. There have been people that started with me. But everybody in my chat is very kind. And if they're not, I'll kick them out. I'll boot them. Because there's no need for us to argue about this, right? But it's when people it's when people leave comments. If you're going to come in and just totally, like somebody left me this horrible comment the other day and I deleted it. I blocked them because I was like, I'm going to deal with something like this because you clearly you're not open-minded enough to see kind of what's happening here. But I will always try to explain. But anybody that's going to come in here and start bashing Miranda and James and all that, we have no time for it. She stays drunk half the time on her lives. It does seem that way, Crystal. I mean, that's my opinion too. She appears that way. Sometimes she doesn't, and sometimes she does. One thing we don't worry about what drama. Yeah. So then another thing in Mael is that in one of the rulings, the judge ruled that all of the hashtags that Katie Joy included in her posts, that is to be considered part of the post. So she just did a thing about Miranda dancing, but at the bottom of it, she put sex trafficking, hashtag sex trafficking, hashtag. If it didn't talk about Miranda being sex trafficked, the judge says that is to be considered a post about sex trafficking. She doesn't talk about that. She'll never talk about that. Why would she? It makes up 99% of her information. In my opinion, there's a lot. I don't follow her on any of her other stuff anymore. I cannot handle her. In my opinion, she's a solid piece of shit. Cannot stand her. She's a horrible human being. That's my opinion. I have that right to say it. And I can't watch her on this other stuff because it's so infuriating. Because she'll talk shit about something and then you'll literally have people tell her in her comments, she deletes them. There's a whole 15,000 people in there. And the subreddit started because they were blocked by Katie Joy. This shit's been going on for years. She's on all kinds of stuff, I think. I don't know. I shouldn't say that because I don't know. Yeah, Gravy, Katie, she really doesn't give a definition of cult, does she? She just implies all these things around it. And I think, I don't know. I look at Katie Joy and how she's aged over the years. And in some ways, as much as I dislike her, it makes me sad. Sorry. She is. I don't know. It's kind of my term for her. 111. We're going to get off of here in 10 minutes. That'll be 2 hours. 111. Robert Shin is in straight panic mode. Let's keep up the pressure. Panic mode about what? See, she would say these things and insinuating that, and people are like, and people wouldn't be none the wiser, right? Remember, the dancer's income all goes to Robert. Okay, remember, the dancer's income all goes to Robert. So now she's saying, "Thank you, Skynet. I appreciate you so much." Sarah Lopez received a gifted membership from Skynet, aka Unitopia. Thank you. Oh yeah, if you get people in this chat talking about Katie Joy to you, you're going to learn a lot. And again, it's all our opinions and thoughts over here. Some people used to be a supporter of hers, and then they left for their own reasons. Jill B, thank you so much. Thanks for your time and hard and work. Wait, I added my own word there. Hard. Oh, Jill, thanks for your time and work on this. If Shekinah is, hold on. If Shekinah is tax exempt by the IRS definition, they are considered a true religious organization by the amount of people that follow it by the census. I mean, and again, remember, Shekinah is not part of the lawsuit, but Katie Joy always kind of brings this up and why she's sitting there talking about whether they're members or not, and about how he's, and all this fraud, that his church is, his church is, what do you say? Like it's a front, like it's a way to launder money, I guess. What's the word I'm looking for?
Thank you for the love and the money. While we keep covering this dummy, it keeps this little channel growing, so we can keep this crazy going. From the bottom of our hearts, we love you so dang much.
Her family went no contact with her too. See, this is a thing. Katie Joy is like, oh yeah, I'm no contact with my family. I'm no contact. And then she talks about her family, where if you followed Katie Joy from when she started, she talked very highly about her family, a lot. Something's happened to her along the way. And when I was saying earlier, just watching her change over the years, even though I don't like her, it makes me sad for her. She's caught up in this. This is her livelihood. This is what she has to do. She made so much money. She has to maintain making that money. Now she has to maintain making that money to pay this lawsuit. She's already, in her own words, she's in this over $200,000 already. Look, if she's in it $200,000 now, that's nothing compared to what it's probably going to be, because now she's got all these motions to file to defend, these statements on this amended complaint. She's going to do everything she can to fight this shit. She has until August 31st. So she's been pretty quiet now. I'm sure she's focusing on this, but she has to focus on this, even though she says, oh, my team does it. I think she writes a lot of it to save some of the money. We've kind of gone over that before, but, and she has to keep pumping out videos. When does she sleep? She's aged. That's my opinion. I mean, we all age. I've aged too, right? But stress, man. See, Crystal says, I left because she lies, and it's very apparent she makes up most of her quote-unquote information. A lot of people eventually see that, and some people just leave and they just don't look back. But some people leave and they end up over here, or Renell Smith, or any of the others that used to talk about Katie Joy. Charlotte on the web still talks about her, not as much, but she still talks about her. There's still some people that cover it. I mean, I wish everybody was as smooth as you and recognized it quickly. Yeah, it didn't take me long to see right through it either, but it depends on where you watch her at. Like, again, you watch her on YouTube, she's a totally different person. See, thank you. Money will never come before my morals. It will never make me lie, etc. Me either. I'd live in a cardboard box before I would do anything that would go against my morals, how I was raised. I wouldn't want to upset my parents at my ripe old age. See, Goose says the same thing. July through December of 2019, once I got to see on Twitter and saw who she really is. And we're going to see those. We're going to start seeing her, her TikTok stuff. That comes up like once we get to about 150, I think, here. Sarah says she left when she realized she was deleting comments. She deletes everybody's comments. Oh, the Eminem incident. That was awful. She sleeps when she takes her sleep meds. I'm just saying the difference between a cult and a religion and USA government tax law. Yes, Jill B. Thank you for that. And so the US, like with our government tax law, see, and then like you were saying, like how her ignorance when it comes to business and religion, how a church is operated and run. She's going to find it all out through tax records, maybe. Oh, yeah. When she threatened to fight Luca. I've probably said some shit like that too, so I can't hold her against that. I'm sure I've had someone come in here. I'm like, what? You want to fight? You fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Like, so I can't hold Katie Joy. Like, we got to look at it like, yeah, she might have been starting shit, but you know what? People come in my chat, and sometimes it gets overwhelming if they're against you. And so I cannot really. I used to kind of make comments about that, but now I get it. Like, she's far worse than that, right? Like, Luca might have had it coming. I don't know. But it's when she gets on there and starts talking about about sister wives and the Duggars, all these things where people are telling her it's not true. Some highlights or lowlights. Funny lowlights. The Schofields. And how she was all buddy-buddy with Michael. Why don't I know that? All right. So here, do not post mean comments to the dancers. Do not believe the propaganda that they post. Again, she's gaslighting her people. Robert loves to create illusions to fool the public. He doesn't fool us. Keep up the pressure and hold Robert accountable. You know what, y'all? Why did I have this up this whole damn time? I didn't realize I was blocking some of it. And then they only highlighted, so like what I highlight is what they put in their thing. Why they only highlighted those and not free Miranda Derrick and Los Angeles County Sheriff and FBI and IRS. I don't know. Maybe that was just an error. But they've made their point about hashtags on all these posts. Yeah, can't handle the idea of being a creator. I don't know what I was thinking the day I decided to start this shit. Yeah, you have, look, yeah, I mean, because you'll get people in here that don't want to, whatever, and it's fine if you don't agree. Look, I have other creators that I'm friends with that I talk to behind the scenes. We agree to disagree on stuff. They're my best friend and I in real life. We agree to disagree on a lot of things. I can agree to disagree on a lot of things. Just don't be hateful and coming at people, cussing them out, calling them names. In Skynet, we go in chats that are awful, all based around MGL, right? Like, we've seen some shit. So yeah, you kind of have to sometimes just be like, are you really gonna talk to me like that? Oh yeah, okay. Yes, SD. It's called being an adult, right, Crystal? I guess the concept is hard. Yeah, that's how real adults behave. Right? It's kind of 113. So we're still May of 2024. This is just before the docuseries came out. Okay, the docuseries was not released until what? June? Was it maybe the last day of May? Wait, what was the date on this? Hold on. What did it say? May 31st. So this is like right as the docuseries came out. I want to say that's when it came out, like the very, very end of May. Maybe it was June, but I think it was the end of May. She says the next step is to apply pressure to law enforcement to step in and finally hold Robert accountable through the criminal justice system. Now, look, regarding the LA lawsuit, their biggest argument is, well, okay, well, their biggest argument, no, okay, that's the wrong thing for me to say. That's inaccurate to say their biggest argument. One of their arguments is that the raid and everything and the investigations are prompted by Netflix, okay, because it's all the exact same thing. It's like you look at what Netflix had, and then you look at their cross complaint lawsuit, and it's a match, okay. I forgot what I was going to say regarding that. Oh, a lot of people think that the Netflix docuseries, that they thought by doing the series that Robert Shin would settle all these lawsuits. Don't quote me. Don't take my word for it. It makes sense, but it didn't happen. Sophie Long. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with not agreeing. I mean, and I have people in here that'll say, you know, oh, they feel differently, and that's fine. Again, if I say something very strongly, it's usually because no, I'm pretty sure. But as far as having an opinion about things, yeah, I mean, we all have that right. Katie Joy acts like that. She's like, oh, everybody has a right for their opinion. But then she does, but then she blocks you. If you look at all of her comments, if you catch them on time, she gets a lot of hate. Or she gets a lot of people saying, no, that's not true. She gets a lot of questions, and people just kind of don't recognize that she's deleted so many comments. So here she's tagging the DA's office again and the sheriff's department, you know, saying again, they were given 3 reports via the Foothills Police Department in Sunland, Tahunga. To date, there are no charges. It's time for the sheriff's office to make good on their promise and arrest Robert Shin. They all need Robert Shin to be arrested so these lawsuits go away. So Netflix comes out and they're like, hey, look, Netflix came out. This whole one-sided piece of shit docuseries. That means fucking nothing, right? This one, okay, well, maybe it means something to somebody, but whatever. To me, it means nothing. But this one-sided story that came out, this proves everything we're saying. And Robert Shin's over there going, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. He lets his attorney speak for him. He's very well represented. He's got the money to do it. And so everybody's like, arrest him, arrest him, arrest him. Look what Netflix says. What does that prove? Besides nothing, right? Katie thought she can get away with saying whatever she wants to say because Netflix came out with a docuseries. Life would be boring if we all agreed about everything. My husband agrees with me on everything. He does it just to spare himself. He's always like, "You're right, honey. You're right." But the funny thing is, my husband is the one that's always right. He's just always right. He's just one of those guys. He's not pompous. He's not one of these that would ever say it to your face. But he'll say something, and I'll look at him like, "Oh man, that must be that's going to happen. That you're obviously right about that." He's very well read. He stays up with stuff. So if I say something stupid, he'll just agree with me to agree with me. I guess for marriage, maybe that's what makes it. You were blocked for simply having a different opinion about Gypsy Rose when they were friends. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, NYL. Well, she jumped on the Gypsy Rose Blanchard train early when she was in prison. She reached out to her family. She became friends with her family. But then she did what she does to everybody, was throw them under the bus whenever it was going to benefit her. When everybody turned against Gypsy Rose, she knew it was going to benefit her. So she did that. And then she put out all the communications and she made bank. Netflix is a joke. They don't tell the truth either. You know, whenever I watch stuff on Netflix now, like I just watch it and I'm like, I wonder if that's even true. You got some people on here. What's the other side of the story? Goose, I know. KJ is so effed. These posts show that she actively encouraged and filed reports. Oh, and there's more. There's well more than this. She did a whole fucking video on it. Encouraged and filed reports with the PD and FBI. I hope the jury awards $40 million to Shannon and Derek's. Yeah, they're probably at that now. She won't land in prison unless there's an FBI investigation type thing. I mean, this is a civil situation. I know you know this, Goose, but just to clarify, whenever we say, I hope she lands in prison, you get all these butthurt people going, she's not going to go to prison because this is civil. No, we're just saying that maybe she's doing some shit criminally behind the scenes that she's being investigated in. I don't know. We don't know. Yep, Skynet, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. I think there's a lot of there's so much NYL. This goes back so many years. People think that she's been involved in some shady criminal stuff, possibly, but she's never been charged. We don't see any of those. It's just people have their opinions about it. But when it comes to like her civil suits, I mean, obviously she's not going to go to jail. Now they did file for contempt. And you know, basically saying that she should go to jail because she didn't do X, Y, and Z. And she filed contempt on 7M, but both of those motions were denied. However, if Katie Joy still refuses to provide her tax records, I don't know if she's provided them yet, but if she hasn't, then she'll be in contempt and then she could serve time for that. Because that was 7M's request, that she spend time in jail for every day that she doesn't provide them, along with $50 a day or something. Good husband. She can't keep friends. She has 0 friends. You have no idea. Well, maybe you do. I shouldn't speak for you. You may have no idea. She has pissed off so many creators on YouTube. She has nobody left. She has pissed off everyone. You name it, a big creator that's kind of in this realm, she's pissed them off. She's pissed them all off. I'm sure there's people that can give a list of the creators that she has gone against, that she's doxed people. Creators that were not out in the public eye. She doxed their public information. She's oh my gosh. They'll tell you in chat. Hiding money can land her in prison or other funny money stuff, says Gravy. I'm not disagreeing with you, Gravy. Yep. I think some people think that she's could be involved in some shady. Well, I think what people are saying is by her inciting all of these people to contact the FBI, and she's admitted to contacting the FBI herself, I think a lot of people are thinking that she needs to be held accountable for false reporting. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, we kind of joke around over here about other stuff, but I think when it comes to like the seriousness of it, I think a lot of people are saying, look, she has caused a lot of people to make false reports with the FBI, and a raid occurred. She should be held accountable for that. She's unpleasant and self-serving. Laura, I don't think you could say it any better. Do you know what the 2 hearings would be on? I'm still not sure why they scheduled. I think, so those 2 hearings that are scheduled, one is before her deadline for her dispositive motion, which is August 31st. So there's a hearing scheduled just before that. And then there's this random motion hearing scheduled. They're both motion hearings. One scheduled before it's due and one after. I think the judge wants this shit done and is putting it on the calendar so they can get this shit through. Does that make sense? So if Katie Joy files a motion, there's already a hearing scheduled and they can get that knocked out. And then they know that there's obviously be a hearing for her dispositive motion or motions that she's going to be filing. And then they'll be able to also have another hearing scheduled and get it over. This judge wants this out of the court. That's, I mean, of course, I mean, it's been over 4 years now. They want this shit out of there. KJ is neck deep in Minnesota fraud plus all her tax evasion. I mean, you know, that's an opinion, and you're open to that, Goose. I can't say, obviously we're not stating that as a fact, but you know, she's not providing tax records for a reason. I don't know what that reason is. He's pro gypsy now, Skynet? Shut up. Stop it. Skynet. Look, I'll give credit where credit is due too. And a lot of people don't like that. Some people like, and you know this, Skynet, if you give credit to somebody that somebody doesn't like, they boot you. You cannot stand up for somebody that somebody else doesn't like. I'm not like that over here. I'm open to everybody. You cross me, then I'm going to side eye your ass, right? Yeah, the judge is irritated. No way, y'all. No. Sir Morbid is on Gypsy Rose's side now? Stop it, Skynet. You're pranking me. You're pranking me. He had her on panel? Yeah, I don't follow any of that mess. And Katie Joy predicted that, huh? Yeah. Wow. Look, Katie Joy is not wrong about some things, but she knows how to make money. And in my opinion, like NYL said earlier, I don't care how much money. I'm not going to go against my morals. And I think Katie has. She would disagree. That's just my opinion. You're not breaking me. Could be short order cook. All right, let's get to 115. Let's see if we can get to 115. It's time for the sheriff's office to make good on their promise and arrest Robert Shen. Oh, girl. What does she say? It aged like milk? Oh, wait. 113 to 117. Oh, I'm missing 4. Well, holy shit. You know what? We're going to stop right here because I've got to figure out. Well, let me look. Let me look while I have it pulled up. I have the amended complaint pulled up. Let me look and see. What did we skip? 113. So I need 114, 115, and 116. Let's see what they are. Let me get my glasses on. Shit, where are they? There they are. Back on topic. No, look, this is at the point where I'm so over this that we can talk about whatever. I said I wasn't going to go over 4 o'clock, but okay. Let me look at what 114, 15, and 16 are. We're going to end at 13 because I'm going to have to do 14, 15, 16. And my guess is it's her YouTube stuff, and I somehow didn't put it in here. Okay, let me see. 113. Okay, we got that one. 114. It's an Instagram post that was deleted. It says, contact the LADA's office. They have a file that is just sitting waiting for them to charge Robert. We already saw that when they put that one in twice. So that's why I didn't put that there. 115 is please share and watch this reel. Okay, so this was an Instagram story. Thank you, Donna, for sending a gift. I still don't understand how those things work, but I appreciate you spending them on me. KJ has talent, could be a very good journalist. You know what, Laura? I agree. She's a hard worker. She's dedicated. If she were to focus on the positive, she got caught up in the reality TV stuff. She made a lot of money from it, and it was hard to turn around. She should just stick to the facts. I know. She might after this. I don't know. Of course, it's Katie Joy we're talking about. Okay. It was a Instagram story that was deleted. It says, please share and watch this reel. This is why it's important we help the women get out. The longer they're in, the more at risk they are. So yeah, it's a reel. It's a story. I need to find it. Or maybe I couldn't find it. Maybe I wasn't able to find it. But normally if I couldn't find it, I would still put it in here. Thank you, Skynet. Beautiful Crazy. Receive a gift membership. Thank you, Skynet. I appreciate you so much. So there was an Instagram story that I probably couldn't find because it was a story and it was deleted. I didn't have it, which I find that hard to believe. So I'll go back and make sure. But if not, I'll put up what's in here. And then Instagram story was deleted. Number 116, it says, lock him up. Who gives an F? Nobody's going to remember. So we already saw that one too. Do we actually believe victims? Sexual assault is either a crime or it isn't, period. It should not take a man to be a serial rapist for the police in LA to arrest a perpetrator. That was a long, I need to go back and find that. I have that. Okay, so I got to find number 115. So we didn't get very far, y'all. What, NYL? Why do you ask that? Oh, it's still there? Okay. She had a channel before that was taken, yes, unfortunately. But since YouTube allowed creators that lost their channels to come back, she came back. So for anybody that wants to say she's ban evading, that's not true. I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm just saying in general. Had fun too, Skynet. As always, thank you for joining. I'm going to hop off of here. We didn't get super far, but that's okay. We've got nothing but time. Going live helps me keep myself sane about all this. NYL, welcome into our chat. Thank you for being open-minded and chatting with us. And for all of you that always participate, I appreciate you. Those that are in the bushes, I appreciate you just as much. I appreciate everybody. Please hit that thumbs up on your way out. Yeah, she's not monetized on YouTube. She's on Rumble also, and you can send her Rumble rants and stuff on Rumble. She will usually stream on both Rumble and YouTube at the same time. And she might be live right now because she starts at 4 and it's 4:18. So I will see you find people on the next one. What day is today? Tuesday. I might try to come back Friday. And yes, Sarah says, thanks again, Skynet. Thank you, everybody, for your super chats and memberships. And I will see you on the next one. Try to stay cool if it's hot where you guys are at. Hold on, I got to go back and I'm not even where I can even end the stream. All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.
It don't take a crystal ball to know how some stories end. When someone keeps saying opinions like facts, the court start listening. Southern mutton don't predict nothing, we just watch and write it down. Don't need a crystal ball to see it coming back around. When you state it like a fact and never check it first. Southern mutton, watch it close from the courthouse ground. True, stay patient while the paper getting worse. Same routine, new headline phone. Same bold claims that the record don't want. She speak real loud, no maybe, no seems. Turn opinions into facts like the courtroom clean. I ain't wishing nothing, I just seen the signs. When the words outrun proof, it's a matter of time. History repeat when you don't learn yet. Courts don't care what you meant, just what you said. When confidence louder than evidence be, that's when patterns start explaining things to me. Don't need a crystal ball to see it coming back around. When you speak like a verdict before the truth's found. Southern mutton in the case, boots firm on the tile. We don't chase drama, we just watch the file, yeah. Country rap calm, I don't gloat or grin. I just read the docket when it rolled back in. She called it truth, call it just how it is. But courts draw lines where the talking ends. I ain't psychic, I'm observing. facts don't bend, cause a voice is urgent. From testimony tone to the written page, same outcome when the pattern don't change. Lies like speed, truth like distance. One burns fast, one keeps existing. On lies like speed, truth like distance. One burns fast, one keeps existing. Don't need a crystal ball, don't need belief, when the law still runs on proof and receipts. Southern mud and watching through the courtroom glass, pointing out lies as they're saying it's facts. Yeah. This ain't prophecy, this ain't hate, just history watching itself repeat. When words get reckless, the courts get busy, and the truth always shows up right on time.